What's cracking, guys? Bruce Matson here, your host show of Metro Scout Fantasy Football, and today we're going to be going over a startup mock draft that I've been doing these last couple days. Matter of fact, I'm still in it, still in the thick of it. We're wrapping it up though, but we're going to go over some of the top picks so you get an idea of what's going on in some of these drafts, so you can get a good look of what's going on in startups, maybe get an idea of some values or how tricky things can come when players start flying off the board. And we're going to start looking at that right now. Here is the startup mock draft, and first things first, it starts off kind of normal with Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. Those are two normal picks there. DK Metcalf comes in a little early, third pick off the board. Usually he's in the back half of the first round. Jonathan Taylor, he's either 101 to the 103 range, somewhere around there. CeeDee Lamb's up at 5. He's been following in drafts lately, at least some of the ones I've been into, so 5's kind of high for him as of late. Devontae Adams, draft a little higher than expected. Cooper Kupp as well. Usually they're back half of the first, almost early second, but things happens in drafts. Let me know what you think about this first round. Kyle Pitts here at 8, the 108 spot. Seems like a good value here. Javonte Williams at 9. DeAndre Swift at 10. Najee Harris at 11. All those guys seem like they're at a good value. And then you got A.J. Brown at the 112. Super cheap. Really good price tag. Going back, Waddle. First pick in the second round. Some drafts you see him sneaking in the first. Tyreek Hill in the second. T. Higgins, early second rounder as well. Then the running backs in this second round goes Antonio Gibson, Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Cam Akers. I look for Cam Akers to hold this value throughout the offseason. Austin Eckler could be a good value here considering he's a veteran that looks like he's not losing much tread on the tires. Deontay Johnson, the bottom of the second round, is very interesting as well. Debo, middle of the second round. So nothing really to note here. And then we get into the third round. Joe Mixon, third round, running back of the Bengals. That's a good price tag there. Early third round, I like that. J.K. Dobbins, early third round. Wide receivers here. Stephon Diggs falling to the third round. That age is getting there. He could be a falling knife when it comes to the value. He could be slowing down. He could have a few more productive seasons. We don't know. DJ Moore, third round. Used to be a first rounder. He's starting to fall back a bit. That's all right. If you draft him here, you know you got a wide receiver here for a long time. Michael Pittman, third round. Derrick Henry falling to third round. For the short term, he can get you some value, especially if he comes back healthy, which he's going to. He can give you that top-end production. Terry McLaurin's got some game left in him. Calvin Ridley, where's he going to be playing at? But you know he's got some talent there to give you at wide receiver. Nick Chubb here in the third round. Late third round, almost fourth is good value. And then Burks coming off the board, our first rookie. Late third round, last pick in the third round. Garrett Wilson, first pick in the fourth round, doubling up on them rookies. Then Breece Hall. It's like everyone figured out there was rookies in this draft. They didn't know. And they all just started flying off the board. So imagine we get a better look at these rookies next month when we're starting doing these mocks. And then Isaiah Spiller right after that. Then Waller off the board. Barkley falling to round 4 is very interesting considering he was a first rounder this time last year. And I think he probably got forgotten about in the draft or they were overlooking him. But I feel like this is a mega value for him. You're seeing Alvin Kamara in round 4. That is to be expected right now because the talent's there. However, there's a lot of questions here, especially with the Saints, especially with his longevity. He's at that age apex for running backs. The running back landscape is resetting right now. We're getting new young running backs coming in. The 2023 class is stacked to the gills. They're going to come in. They're going to shift things up. Alvin Kamara is not getting any younger. Drew Brees is gone. That team is jacked up against the cap. Where is he going to be playing at for the long term as well? Dave Montgomery, decent value. I feel like he lives in the fourth round after all these years. Travis Etienne might be the big value here in the fourth round if he hits first round pick. Got some juice in them legs. Brandon Ayuk, last pick in the fourth round. Travis Kelce's a fifth rounder now. Used to be a first rounder. Age is scaring people. Probably should, but the upside, the consistency's still there. Chase Claypool, 5th rounder. Running backs. Josh Jacobs was getting a lot of talk on Twitter the other day. 15 points per game type back. Get some passing work, especially last year. Years prior, it wasn't. Ezekiel Elliott right behind him. These guys are probably going to have comparable careers when it's all said and done. More rookies coming off the board with Drake London. Darnell Mooney right after him. Marquise Brown right after him. Elijah Mitchell, 6th rounder in this draft. I think if I remember right, he was kind of hid in the names a little bit. I think in other drafts, once the names on MFL kind of like stabilize, I think he's going to be drafted a little higher. Kyron Williams, another rookie in the 6th. Juju's a 6th rounder. All the lack of production these last few years, all the inconsistencies, the injuries, all that stuff, he's still being valued as a 6th rounder. He could hit whenever. Brandon Cooks, he's still got some years left in the tank. I think he's going to be one of those wide receivers who's going to be out there for a while. DeAndre Hopkins is a 6th rounder these days. Rashad Bateman's still holding some value, which is good to see for a rookie who didn't have the most productive rookie season, but has the talent, showed the talent. 1st rounder. Miles Sanders, 6th round. Price tag's getting cheap, though. Where you want to buy at here. More wide receivers. Jerry Jeudy back of the 6th. TJ Hawkinson's a decent value here. Joe Burrow, 1st pick of the 7th round. And as you can see here, some of these players are starting to get a little dicey in the skill position. You may want to go after a guy like Murray or Joe Burrow and just get more skill players afterwards and just lock up a young quarterback for a long time. You also have Lamar Jackson. Tyler Boyd getting selected really high in the 7th. That's a reach. Clyde Edwards-Helaire here going in the 7th round. I was wondering where he was going to go. He keeps falling farther and farther. I wonder if he'll go even farther next month or the month after in these drafts. That's something to see. Imagine he's not being valued as much from David Bell in this draft or Michael Carter. Would you rather have Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Michael Carter? That's a good question to ask. Let me know in the comments. But more things to know here. Allen Robinson, 8th rounder. Rashad Penny, 8th rounder. Noah Fant, 8th rounder. So you can get some decent tight ends late here in the draft here. 8th round, Noah Fant, 1st rounder. Good athleticism. Probably going to get a good quarterback here soon. I imagine they're going to test that market and try and get Aaron Rodgers or somebody. Courtland Sutton, 8th rounder. Is that what I'm reading? Yep, 8th rounder. Good value. You're still getting good quarterbacks here. Trey Lance, speculative asset, young guy. Gives you some fantasy points if he ever gets to start. Jalen Hurts. People leery on him. You're getting a value on here. George Pickens in the 8th round. That could be a steal, especially a rookie with that talent. Hunter Renfrow right after him. Renfrow, if he continues, this is a big steal because he's going to be productive for the next few years. I am very acquisitive in what he is, but after him, you start looking at these other wide receivers. You got DJ Chark in the 9th, Adam Thielen in the 9th, Laviska Shenault in the 9th. I like Shenault. He's a buy for me. But again, Renfrow gave you something last year. Christian Kirk. So this is a good time to pull the trigger. Running backs here in the 9th round. You got Kenneth Walker in the 9th as a rookie. So that's interesting to see him falling that far in the draft. I imagine he was hitting the names. Tyler Algier right after him in the 10th round. So some good values here on the rookies. James Conner getting drafted in the 10th round. Along with Trevor Lawrence. That could be a big steal. Keep going down here into the 11th round. We still have got some values here to see. Terrace Marshall's a name I want to talk about because he was a high-end pick last year in rookie drafts. Now he's fallen a bit. Looks like a face planter. Guy who did not produce at all during his rookie season. Healthy scratch in some games. It's going to be interesting if he can bounce back or just get up there and improve upon what he did or not. Zamir White, another running back here from that rookie class I'm seeing. Johann Dodson in the 12th round. That's probably going to be a value considering his age and longevity and future draft capital. I like what I'm seeing here in the later rounds. Donovan Knight, our boy, in the 13th. That's another interesting pick here. Bryan Edwards in the 13th. That guy has not been hitting and he was a speculative asset coming into his career, 3rd-round rookie pick, and you could have been buying in at that price all along, hoping that he'd hit. Now he's starting to fade a little bit. Is he going to return that value or not? Probably not. They're probably going to be going other players at wide receiver. They're probably going to have to make some moves there unless things start turning. He has shown some flashes, but it has not been enough for production for what we want in fantasy. Wan'Dale Robinson in the 14th round, Tua Tagovailoa in the 10th. A lot of interesting picks here. Adam Trotman, a young tight end, in the 14th as well. Last round that they're in here. Some interesting stuff here. We got Sky Moore. We got Zach Wilson, Derek Carr, Alec Pierce. So we're starting to get into some of these younger wide receivers, more speculative assets, and these bottom tier quarterbacks. We got Justin Ross as well in the 15th round. I imagine some of these younger wide receivers are just going to bounce up as we get closer to the draft. And I'm guessing some of these quarterbacks who are considered bottom tier may fall back a little bit more as we start to speculate on more of these younger players, but that's just my guess. But I'm pretty good at gauging the market when it comes to Dynasty Fantasy Football. But that's all I got for today's video. Let me know what you think about this draft. Who's getting overdrafted? Who's getting underdrafted? What would you do differently? But that's what we got in this draft right here. My team right here is the DeAndre Swift team. I took advantage of the rookies because they were being undervalued big time. So I got a weird team of young dudes, but I can work with that in a real scenario. And honestly, if I was paying money, I wouldn't mind having a team like that. I've had teams with lots of rookies on it before. And in real life, I probably wouldn't get a team like that because people would be sniping the rookies up. But that's my team: the DeAndre Swift, T. Higgins, Calvin Ridley, Isaiah Spiller, Drake London, Jameson Williams, David Bell, George Pickens, just rookie after rookie after rookie team. And I'm cool with that. I can make it work. And most of those rookies ain't going to hit year one. So therefore, I'm going to get high-end 2023 picks so I can be able to capitalize on that running back class. So I like what I did there. Some people may not feel good about that because they want to compete right away or they want to have a sure thing right away. But I'm not afraid to go all in on speculative assets. I'm cool with the risk. And that's just how it is. It's just you got to play with how you like to play. I also like building teams different ways, kind of like Legos, and just build teams differently. I kind of look at them as building Lego sets. That's kind of like how I play with Dynasty Fantasy Football. But there's just all kinds of ways you can play the game. But I want to thank you for watching the show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Every subscription matters. Fuels me to keep putting out this content. Fuels me to keep helping you with your fantasy teams, grinding the tape, grinding the metrics, everything else. Again, I want to thank you, and I'll catch you next time.